Hey y'all, my name's Chris, and I wanted to do a 1 year of ownership of the Stihl RZ960i commercial zero turn mower video. And I'll ask your indulgence in advance. I'm not the uh, best at doing this stuff, not particularly well spoken, lots of ahs and ums and pauses as I gather my thoughts. But I did want to do a video and let you guys know how it's been uh, owning this mower. Little bit about me is I had a commercial grass cutting business for over 10 years, and during that time I've had a lot of different uh, commercial sort of flagship zero turns from lots of different brands, lots of different motors. Um, Eventually landed on the Ferris IS 3200Z, which was an amazing mower. I did have to rebuild the starter, which is a common problem with Ferris owners. Starter issues is a very common thing. Sometimes switch or relay, and in my case I had to rebuild the starter, but aside from that it was just a great machine. A lot of manufacturers have sort of come up with their own version of suspension on their mowers. Ferris is the best in the business. I grew up riding and racing motocross and surfing and stuff, and I've got a lot of nagging sort of injuries now that I'm old. I've just turned 54 here in February, and wake up in pain pretty much every day. Um, Having said that, the suspension on the Ferris mowers is not gimmicky. It is the best in the business, is what it is. This my yard here is 5.5 acres of mostly clover and Alabama weed grass, and it's hard to make it look good. And now, full disclosure, um, one, you guys can only see part of the yard behind me. Lots of square edge rabbit holes and bumps and off camber hills. Some of them very steep. So not an easy yard to cut to begin with. And but having said all that, on the Ferris IS 3200Z, um, the cut quality is very good. Although the Skags cut better than that 61-inch deck I had on the Ferris. The suspension best in the business. We've already talked about that. Not a gimmick, legitimate suspension, which definitely alleviates the fatigue, mitigates the fatigue that you have at the end of cutting all day, for sure. And but the like I said, the Skags cut better than that 61-inch deck on the Ferris, and the chute was a little bit small, so it wasn't the best at dispersing grass. I had the probably last one before the Briggs started putting that oil guard system on their motors, and it was a very good motor, bulletproof, never had any issues with it. I change the oil probably every 50 hours. They call for it every 100 hours. Um, and like I said, my only real complaints are, with that old 61-inch deck on the Ferris, it would leave a little strip of grass on dull blades. With sharp blades, it wouldn't really be an issue. But when I was looking for a new mower, I was trying to get the Ferris ISX 3300 with the new from Ferris 60-inch deck and the 40 horsepower Briggs & Stratton Vanguard motor. I couldn't find that combination. I could find the 60-inch deck with the Kawasaki motor, and I could find the 61-inch deck with the Briggs 40 horsepower motor. Over the years, I've had every brand and commercial zero turn, and I've had some issues with the Kawasaki motors before, and so I'm not here to argue the merits of Kawasaki versus the Vanguard, the Briggs motors, or vice versa. But for me, I've never had any issues with the Briggs and Stratton stuff. I learned how to ride dirt bikes on a probably 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton mini bike in the early, probably mid '70s, and so Briggs been around for a long time. So I wanted the 40 horsepower motor with this new 60-inch deck, which I figured they would, the new decks would eliminate some of the issues I mentioned, and I couldn't find it. I was calling around. I live in Alabama. I was calling around Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, all around Alabama. Never could find what I wanted. Landed at Cave Spring Outdoor Equipment, which is about about an hour from me, straight east and over the Alabama-Georgia state line into Georgia. And talked to those guys on the phone, and they told me, this is over a year ago now, a little over a year ago, and those guys told me that Stihl was getting Ferris to build their mowers, and had jumped into the zero-turn business in a big way, and they are a Ferris dealer, but they didn't have the right deck and motor combination at that moment, but they did have the Stihl. Difference between the Stihl RZ960i and the Ferris ISX 3300 is the Ferris has a big headrest right here, which I don't care anything about, would take off anyway. And the Stihl has some amazing, which you probably can't see, LED headlights, which are phenomenal. And the Stihl also has, which you probably won't be able to see this out of, a couple of USB ports if you want to plug your phone up. So I got the Stihl, and my yard used to be a hayfield, again mostly clover and Alabama wheatgrass, and I got the Stihl and hadn't cut the grass at all last year when I got it, and was blown away at the cut quality. I did have and do have on the back of this the Big League striping kit, but I cut several times without putting the striping kit on here so I could see how well the Stihl striped, and it stripes amazing. And I would say it's on par with the Skag in terms of striping, the very close. And having said that, the Skags always cut better than with their decks than the old Ferris 61-inch deck. However, that's not the case anymore. The new ISX 3300s with the 60-inch deck and the Stihl RZ960Is with that same deck edge out the Skags now. A buddy of mine had both of them at his house for several weeks, and he had enough time to compare, and he says that he went with the Stihl. He said that they a marginally better cut with the Stihl mower. So there's that. The issues that I've had when I first got it, a month after I got it, I blew a fuse next to the starter, which I didn't even know was there. And the guys from K Spring Outdoor Equipment were so kind. They actually drove out here an hour into Alabama and fixed it in my driveway before I even realized that they were back at the shop before I even realized that they'd come. And so that's with that type of service. If you're within several hours of K Spring, Georgia, I strongly encourage you to do business with K Spring Outdoor Equipment. They are phenomenal. I won't go anywhere else ever again if I can help it. Having said all that, that was a fuse, and then probably a month and a half after buying this mower, the PTO switch, which you probably can't see. Underneath it, you have to take some Allen screws off to reach to access that area. Um, there is a plastic tab on the front, a plastic tab on the back, and the front tab broke off somehow. Who knows how? Um, so I had that fixed under warranty. Um, Aside from that, it's been perfect is a big word, powerful word, but this has been an amazing experience. Um, the cut quality now going from the 61-inch deck to the 60-inch deck, and um, the they brought the spindles in. It no longer, even with dull blades, leaves a small strip behind, and the grass chute is a lot bigger now. And I honestly, I think pretty much every time I cut, I marvel at how well the grass chute disperses the clippings. Um, it does just an incredible job with that, and the cut quality again is fantastic. Um, I don't think that the phone is going to do this justice, um, but the cut is amazing. I've got probably some bent blades, um, but right now, but just an absolutely uh, amazing cut. No issues there. Um, it's incredibly fast, which I don't mow it as fast as I could. Um, I don't think you should. It looks dirty right now. I don't pressure wash it off. That's not my thing. I'll blow it off here probably before I put it away. Maybe not. But usually I'll blow them off and that's it. In fact, I don't think I've pressure washed it off since I've gotten it. A lot of guys do that. I'm not arguing with those guys. For me, I don't pressure wash um, zero turn, or at least I should say I only very rarely and extremely carefully do that. I just don't like leaving them wet, after they've been pressure washed, and I've run into some issues after pressure washing them before. So that's not my thing. But whatever, do what you want. I just had it serviced and basically got a new deck belt, which I didn't need. There's two deck belts. Didn't need to replace that, but I wanted to get a new one. Now I've got a backup one to use. I'm using the original one as backup if I need to. I had them grease the daylights out of everything. Didn't change oil. We did look at the oil. I'm about 30 hours away from, there's 71 hours on this machine now. I'm about 29 hours away from needing to change the first oil change with this oil guard system on the 40 horsepower Briggs & Stratton Vanguard motor. They say change it every 500 hours after the first one. We checked it and it looked great still. And so I'll wait until I don't know when, but I'll change it at 100 hours. Having said all that, do I recommend it? Absolutely. It's a lot of money. $17,000 is what they're going for right now. I got actually they're more expensive than that. I think that's what I paid for it, which was less than every other dealership that I had found on the Ferris ISX3300 and the Stihl RZ960i. K-Spring was just demolished everybody else. There wasn't even a close second in terms of pricing. They were way under everybody else. Do I recommend the Stihl RZ960i? Absolutely. It's bulletproof. Absolutely bulletproof. It's the most comfortable, amazing suspension. It feels like riding a Cadillac. I know that because I own a Cadillac and I sell Cadillacs. But this is a great mower. If you can afford it, and if you need something extremely heavy duty for commercial work, or if you're like me and you've got a big, a lot of grass you got to cut every week, absolutely recommend this mower. You cannot go wrong. Having said all that, same thing applies for the Ferris ISX3300. If you can find one with that new 60-inch deck, you are getting, in my mind, in my opinion, the greatest zero turn that has ever been made. I do not think there's a better one in existence. I think this is it. Do I have any regrets? Not at all. Would I change anything? Not at all. Um, it's just been an absolute dream machine to own. Having said all that, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you would do me a favor and like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. I will be doing some other videos moving forward. For example, I bought these Bose headphones so that I could listen to amazing music while I'm cutting grass. I'll let you know how they are. We're going to do a product review on these coming up very soon. I've also got a brand new Bradley Mowers lawnmower blade sharpener or grinder, which I'm going to be reviewing that here probably this weekend. So there's some good stuff coming down the pipe. Please like and subscribe. If you got any questions or comments, let me know what they are and just post your comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I see the comment. Thank you for watching this video, this long-winded video. God bless you guys, and I really appreciate your tuning in. So thank you so much.